one time this guy came up to me and he put an arc on the wall. And he goes, how do you finish that? And I took the pencil and I made another arc and turned it into a fish. He says, now I know you're a Christian. He called me holy. I used to take my shoes off, believing I was walking on holy ground. That's how connected I was. You know, I wasn't cussing. I wasn't using no drugs. You know, I was trying to sneak into heaven before everybody else. I don't know. I was really trying to do what I thought that was going to be pleasing and acceptable to my Heavenly Father and meet the need of the prophecy that was foretold in my life that God was going to use me in a mighty way. You know, I told the police officers, 2 sheriffs, right? They took me to the jail. I was kind of twisted on crystal last year, maybe, and but they were acting like homeboys, you know. And I'm looking at their uniform, you know, the sheriff's uniform in Dominican Hospital. And I said, you know what, you guys act like homeboys, man. You know, I said, you know what? I said, check this out. I said, have you been in the military? Both said no. You been in prison? Both said no. Have you ever evangelized for God, win souls over to His kingdom? They said no. I said, well, you know what? Check this out. I have an honorable discharge with the Marine Corps. Okay. I also been to prison and ran a yard. Had 50 Northerners under my belt. I was a Northern, you know. And I said, also, I used to evangelize for God and win souls over to His kingdom. I said, have you done anything like that? You don't even fit the criteria. You don't even add up to me. I would throw that in the face sometimes.
That's a flex. Got to flex on them, huh?
Yeah.
But you should stay humble and kind.
Well, yeah, I did, but I still had to put them in check. Like, you know, you're not what you think you are. You haven't even put in the homework. You haven't even put in the work. You haven't even done anything, you know, that's worth it. You go to a prison and have the heart to take over a yard, just take it over. Break somebody's nose and just take it over. I did that, okay? Evangelize for God. Win souls over to His kingdom. Change lives. Train pastors. You haven't done that either. You know, what else? What was the other one? Let's see. Honorable discharge with the Marine Corps. I raised my hand to defend your mom, your sister, and your dad with my life. Could have came back in a coffin with a flag over it, but I didn't. Do you appreciate that? Do you honor that? Do you think you just got it coming? No, I have all those under my belt. You don't. You know, so don't point your filthy finger at me. Don't judge me. That's what I would tell them. You know, and this is fact. It's fact. And I'm grateful to have that under my belt. You know, those experiences. And those experiences help me to better my thinking and other avenues of thought when it comes to just, you know, being a Christian, right? You know, I know it. I have the flavor in my mind of what it is to be in prison and have power. I know what the flavor is in my mind to know what it is to evangelize for God and win souls over to His kingdom. You know, I have the flavor in my mind, the knowledge of the experience of, serving this country with my life. I'm willing to die to protect your mom, your sister, and your dad. You know, and you don't enjoy your freedom. I do that sometimes out loud in town. You know, I make a public announcement. You know, I have to put it on blast, you know. And nobody's telling anybody. Not just that, but I'm talking about, you know, as far as the end times, you know, as far as our country being invaded, as far as us going to war, as far as the Antichrist, you know, they're paving the way. The Antichrist told me, the Illuminati told me they're paving the way for the Antichrist, and they're going to put the world in chains, and you're either with us or against us. Nobody's telling nobody that. You know, they're skipping through the garden, thinking tomorrow's going to be like today. It's not. It's going to be all bad. I mean, we're headed towards a 7-year tribulation. Oh, it's going to be terrible. Our country is going to get hit with terrorist explosions, probably missiles. You know, it's going to be all that. And the reason why Biden is allowing open borders, not just to have people come over and vote for him, which he stole the last presidency. Trump won that. You know, they gave it to him. Gave it to Trump. Biden, he's the house plant. You know, our government has been infiltrated. But democracy, which we have in our country, with a lot of guns, we got guns too, right? Bearing arms. The New World Order is not going to work side by side with democracy, and they know that, and they have to remove it. So part of the strategy is the open borders. And Biden is he's a socialist. His whole administration, okay, they're part of orchestrating the New World Order. And like I said, they have to remove democracy. It's going to be a one world government, which is prophesied in the Bible, right? One world government, one world leader, the Antichrist, okay? One currency, right? Penny what's it called? When they get rid of the, it's going to be digital currency. That's coming up. And then the mark of the beast system, having to be forced to accept the mark of the beast. And the government has all kinds of food stored away for that, because they're destroying food and they're putting food away. So they know food is power, and people will submit through hunger, to accept the mark of the beast. A woman's going to say, oh, my daughter's hungry. My kids need to eat. She's going to make an exception. There's going to be a great falling away. There's going to be more people lost than saved in these last days, in these end times. But you knew that.
I know that the one global nation, that's coming soon. It's a work in the process, in the progress,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it might take a century, it might take two. All I know is that that's going to happen at the same time as GMBs, genetically modified babies, and all kinds of other things. It's gonna take a long time, but it's already.
No, it's not gonna take that long. We're talking.
It'll take at least 1 century, because.
No.
Oh,
100 years? No. No, we're talking months, bro.
Months?
Yeah. All this stuff's gonna happen rapidly, in months.
Do you really think that they can string together a one global nation in just months? Because China's going to stay strong, Japan's going to stay strong.
Well, China and Russia are together. Okay?
They're together, but they're not together because they're on the same team right now.
Currency.
Look, they're on the same team right now, but they're against each other because China wants Outer Manchuria to itself. They want to invade parts of Russia. China is still very nationalistic. Russia is nationalistic. Even Ukraine is a bit nationalistic. They can't be under one flag.
Okay, but Russia is fighting against the NATO because they're fighting against the New World Order.
Correct.
They're fighting against the Antichrist. That's what Russia.
Well, not the Antichrist. Russia is anti-Christian.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not.
They're anti-spirituality.
No, they have churches over there.
They do, but they're on the same side as China, and China is anti-Christ.
China's different, but I'm talking about Russia. Okay, Russia has cathedrals. They have Christian churches there, and their country. Some of that's propaganda. To get people to disbelief in Russia. No, Russia's fighting against the Antichrist. Russia's fighting against the New World Order, which has to do with the Antichrist. That's what they're fighting against. That's what this war is all about right now. It's about the forces of good and evil fighting. End time war, spiritually, physically, and well, time will tell, right? I don't know everything. Sometimes I don't pay attention to half of it. I wish I cared like I should, but all this time, all these years, I always thought Russia was the bad person. They're not. The United States, we're the leader in pornography, same-sex marriage, and abortion, worldwide. You think God's happy with that? No. And on the dollar bill it says, "In God we trust." Is that mockery? I think all this time, when it said "In God we trust," it was talking about Lucifer.
In God we trust, but then we have the Illuminati on the back.
Exactly. The Illuminati, they are Antichrist.
Right.
And they actually have a pyramid with a reptilian eye. And the reptilians are fallen angels. They are fallen angels who have taken upon humanoid figures, bodies. Yeah, the reptilians. And they are in our government. They have the ability to, what's that called? Change their appearance, to where they look like humans and they're not. Or they can wear a mask, but underneath the reptilians, they eat children.
I've seen them
They eat
here.
kids. They eat
Here in
kids.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, really?
They live under they live under every city, in matter of fact.
They live underground, the reptilians. I heard they had 2 hearts. They're really strong, hard to kill. These reptilians, if I'm not mistaken, the reptilians, right? The serpent in the Bible in the beginning was speaking of a reptilian. It was a serpent who was talking to Adam and Eve. He was a reptilian. We got to get back my scooters over there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I don't want to lose it.
All right, pause.